And welcome back. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libbie. It's all brought to us by our friends at FWIRSA. Savvy tax accountants that'll work hard for you until the cows come home. That's FWIRSA in Clive, Iowa. Our special guest in studio is Beau Fodor. He is the owner of Panache. Panache is a catering, well, what is it?
You know what? It's a little bit of everything
whatever
right
you
now.
want,
whatever
huh?
you need it to be.
You'll make it happen.
It'll make it happen. Almost all of my business starts with a conversation. People will call with a need as far as entertaining or decorating or a wedding or a corporate event. And that first conversation is very, very important because their concepts change as far as what they need. So I hate to label myself into one demographic of business,
Right.
but
how have you marketed this? Is this mostly social media, word of mouth?
well, to be honest with you, it really boils down to previous experience with that customer. I focus a lot on follow-up, literally listening to what the client felt about the event. And constructive criticism is my best tool to grow and to learn with, and to also personalize for the next event, because I literally work with that mindset of, while I'm doing something, what we can do next for that client to raise that bar a little bit.
Now, when we're talking about this, okay, let's say you're going to do a special event for someone. Are you actually doing the cooking and the baking and the arranging, or do you have people that do that? How does all that work?
Well, again, it depends on their budget. It depends on the vibe. Again, going back to that whole thing of why you do something versus how you do it. And I will entertain in a client's home up to about 12 people I'm comfortable with. Anything over that, no. I am afforded a great luxury of working very closely with Michael Laval and the Embassy Clubs, as well as the Botanical Center, the World Food Prize, and the Art Center. And I'm again afforded a great luxury by working with the best. I now, at this point in my career, have become more of a consultant. I kind of organize and coordinate. Don't get me wrong, I still love hands-on doing floral and that type of work. I don't ever do masses. I'll do one or two. But anytime it gets to be more than that, the attention to detail that's required for that perfection needs to be done by a team of professionals.
Well, I remember about a year ago, and for full disclosure, I'll tell you, for full disclosure, Beau you did an event for us.
Correct.
Back in the political days when we were doing...
during the caucuses.
Yes. And it was lovely. You know, it was attention to detail, I think, is something that people... You know, if we're a smorgasbord, or, you know, what do they call those places where you go in and you load up? If we're a Chinese Express...
Buffet.
Yeah, thank you. You know, if we come to things with a buffet mentality, thank you. We come to that with a buffet mentality. You can't really appreciate some of these finer points of style.
And also, too, what I have learned, especially here in the Midwest, is a lot of it doesn't have to be gourmet or hot cuisine or any of that. What it needs to be is heartfelt, and it has to be comfortable for the individual. Some of the best advice I can give when you're entertaining is just to visually raise the bar. Just your good old hot dish, your good old comfort food, your good old pulled pork on Wonder Bread is fabulous just the way it is. What your guests need to do are see things and feel things and talk about things that they don't normally get to. That's what you do. You create a memory. You make it a memory.
Beau Fodor, ladies and gentlemen, our guest in studio. We're talking about his business. It's called Panache. Got some images that we wanted to show you. Beau, you can tell us what in the heck it is that we're looking at here. Because,
my mom and dad, they visited last summer. I'm so blessed to have parents in their 80s that are still healthy and vibrant, very nomadic and chic, and I'm really, really grateful.
What else? What else have we got? All
right, we just had a dinner for an ambassador from Japan. That's at the top of the Ruan building, 34th floor. Michael Laval, who's the director and the actually manager of both the clubs, is very innovative in his thinking as far as hospitality and, of course, food and entertaining and catering.
Michael is a great guy.
But more importantly, he's all about our diversity and really shows and highlights that through the food that he serves and recommends. Yeah, he's become almost like a mentor to me. I'm really, really grateful for the relationship. More importantly, I'm really, really grateful that we've got such a 5-star venue to showcase the very best of Des Moines. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people still have that perception that we're toothless meth heads or flannel-wearing hillbillies, and no harm in that. I look hot in flannel, but long story short, we're a very cosmopolitan, very corporate-minded, more importantly, a very business-savvy community that's thriving and growing. And yeah, he helps
a lot of that's changed over the. I mean, that has come about in the past 5 or 10 years. You know, I got to tell you, when I landed in Iowa in 1979. And I was driving an MG, and I parked my car at 7th and Walnut, just right down the street here. And there was sagebrush blowing across. And the weeds were growing through the.
Wow.
You know, I said, "Where in the hell have I come to?" And that was the capital of Des Moines, and I've seen this transform itself.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm very, very proud of our city.
Yeah, it is very nice. We've got some other photos, I think, too. What is this? Is this a seating chart?
Yeah, this will actually be the largest event I've done. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's really about the logistics when you start something like an event such as a sit-down dinner for 325 people.
Yikes.
Yeah, that foundation that's laid, once you do this, and this is the only part of my job I don't care for, it's extremely stressful. I'm not that sided in my brain to really work with schematics and drafting, even though my father was a master draftsman. It didn't rub off on me. But yeah, long story short, with that floor plan, that's going to be at our World Food Prize building, which is truly what I feel like Iowa's crown jewel at this point in time. We have a bevy of exquisite properties on all 4 corners of our state, multi-million-dollar properties that just have recently been renovated and can compete with anything on either of the coasts. But our World Food Prize building here in Des Moines, not only just the history of it being the old library, and the integrity of the architecture and the riverfront placement, truly has brought international business to Des Moines, as well as dignitaries, and also just the inclusion of that worldwide mindset through their displays, through their entertaining, through their food. I've done some farm-to-table, very high-end, don't get me wrong, not exactly barn dinners, but with that styling and with some barnwood on the buffet tables and a bunch of corn stalks and beans that I cut out of a field and made centerpieces with for the Chinese ambassador. And his wife was just in awe that we would take product from the field and literally lay it on a table. But I was in awe of her that evening as well, a very educated woman who her mission in life is to feed the world. And it was very, very humbling to listen to them speak that evening. And more importantly, just such an honor to be a part of something like that here in Des Moines, Iowa.
Do we have any other photos? Yeah, we do. Oh, okay. What we got going? Oh, this looks good.
Yeah, I, again, in my entertaining and party throwing, always recommend dessert.
Gotta have dessert.
Gotta have dessert. It's a win-win. Any good dessert will make your party. I'm afforded the luxury of working with many pastry chefs, cupcake designers, cake makers, bakers. That last picture that was just shown, a businesswoman here in town who I've worked with since I first arrived, Gloria Olson from Gloria's Desserts. Watched her grow her business to probably one of the best in the Midwest as far as cake design and execution. Very talented woman. Again, her mentality, she's a horsewoman. She does a lot of horse shows and rides daily. The whole root of her business, too, is very organic, and that word of mouth and the integrity, just doing what you say. I think that my best selling tool or selling point is that I'll show up. I mean, I just get there, and that's really all it takes. It's not really rocket science. It is a lot of the talking points you mentioned earlier in the show about follow-up, about respect, about making that phone call, that one-on-one, that voice live is so important. And I feel guilty that I don't up my update my voicemail daily, but I will start now. Thank you, Michael, for that.
That's quite all right. Beau Fodor is our guest, ladies and gentlemen, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Beau. And I want to get his take on a couple of ads that are out there, because, you know, again, we're talking Panache, and I am really interested to get your take on an ad that came out of Singapore that's caused quite a flap, and also a brand new ad for H&M that Beyonce does. You like Beyonce?
I love Beyonce.
I figured you probably would. Beau Fodor in the chair with insight on business. We'll be back with more right after this.